Hi, we're going to be talking about Sanchin Tegumi. Now, Tegumi is a prearranged fighting drill. We're going to do it from grapples, a grappling position, standing, wrestling, grappling, as you wish. We're going to take this kata all the way through from the front of the kata, from the very beginning of the kata all the way to the end. And we're going to show you many different Kyusho applications on this. And the reason why I do this is it's very good when you're doing your forms to not only have a physical exercise, but a mental exercise. You envision, you feel the person going through the techniques that you're developing. And as you do your kata and you experience this kata in the dojo, doing the separate techniques in the tegumi in a succession, a rapid succession, you're going to feel that opponent every time you're doing your kata by yourself. And what happens is those movements in the kata become totally automatic, and your targeting is automatic. They're on. And if something fails, there's always fail-safes brought into the next movement of the kata. And that's the benefit of doing this Tegumi. Now, I've done many of these. I did one on Wing Chun Son Dao. I've done it on Weichi Seisan. I've done it on Hengetsu from Shotokan. I've done it in Taekwondo forms. I can do it with all of my forms. All the forms I practice. I have done these, I separate the techniques, and then I put them into the dojo where I enact them. I cause the knockouts or the physical dysfunctions on live people. I take it on seminars. I do it in the seminar tours. I get my hands on as many people as I can with those actions. So when I go back into the kata, I can do these katas and I can actually feel the person in my grasp or feeling the strike, and I can envision them, I can feel them dropping out from underneath my hands with those techniques embedded. So they become more natural, they become more instinctive, and they come more instantly. So we're taking you through this Tegumi now. Now, last week, or one of the prior weeks in the extended versions, I showed you several techniques, 3 techniques out of the Pangai Nun and the Goju version of Sanchin. Now, I'm not going to continue on with the Goju version. I'm going to continue on with the Pangai Nun Weichi version of Sanchin because that's what I practice on a daily basis for many decades. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you an application. Now, this all spurred on because I went onto a Facebook page dedicated to Sanchin, and I asked if anybody wanted to discuss the martial applications or some techniques that you could derive from your version of Sanchin, because most people were just performance-based on that forum. So everybody said yes. Only one person really engaged in the conversation. There were a couple more, but one really carried the conversation forward. But they were skeptical on the ability of the form, or for me to perform the form on a very fast tackle using those applications and Kyusho. So I went back to the dojo and I applied it and I got the reactions, and we settled it with that. However, the individual came back and said, well, what happens if the person attacks differently? This was from a waist tackle. So his version was 2 different types of attacks. One embracing you in a clinch factor over the top of the arms. So I'm going to show you an application there for an answer for that, using the same actions of the opening thrust of the Sanchin, using again the Pangai Nun or Weichi version. And then I'm going to show you if the person tucked underneath my arm so I couldn't reach the head targets that I had reached in the prior demonstration and application. So stay tuned because that's coming up. I'm going to show you a clip here of that application, and then I'm going to go into the extended versions, and I'm going to show you a couple different ideas on that. Now, we're also developing this on a weekly basis going forward. There might be a few skips in between on that weekly basis where I go into another subject, but we're building this Tegumi, and what I'm doing is I'm doing it in separate versions or separate techniques, and then I'm going to break that down further, and we're going to go into the full Tegumi without doing the dysfunctions, because you can't hang on to a partner all the way through the kata with the dysfunctions in place, but how you can piece them together and make this a full, complete Tegumi like those other sections or those other katas that I have broken down. It's an invaluable training lesson, and I think you're going to enjoy it. This will be on the extended YouTubes, of course, in the Platinum subscriptions that have everything I've done in the past, and also on the Patreon channel. So join us there.